Liko tells them a little about what happened. In each subject, no student had the same grade as any other student. For example, in English, only one student had an A, only one student had a B, and so on. In math, Bruno did better than Austin by more than 2 grades. And all 5 students did worse than average in at least one subject. All right, let's think about Bruno and Austin. If Austin had an F, being more than 2 grades better than that, can't be D, can't be C, it would have to be a B. And if Austin had a D, more than 2 grades better would be an A. So then there aren't any other places for Austin to have an X. So put it in caps here so it's bigger. Austin can't have an A, can't have a B, can't have a C. And Bruno is at more than 2 grades better, so he can't have an F, can't have a D, and can't have a C. The other information we will keep in the back of our heads for now. Erica wasn't the best or worst student in math. So in Erica's row, we're going to put an X for the best and the worst, since she wasn't that. Austin had different grades in all 3 subjects. Again, we can't use that yet, but we will. The student who aced the English test wants to be a writer. She doesn't care that she always gets below average in math and science. Well, acing the English test means getting an A, and we know that's a girl because the word she was used. So it's not Austin, it's not Bruno, and it's not Mark. And she always gets below average in math and science. So C is average, so below average has to be D or F. So in math, the person who got an A in English has to be D and F, and the person who got an A in English has to be D and F in science as well. So we're going to put X's there. And the student who got the worst grade in English got a better grade in math than the student who got the worst grade in science. So the worst grade in English is this F, English F. They got a better grade in math, so they couldn't have gotten math F. And they got a better grade in math than the student who got the worst grade in science. So the worst grade in science is F, and they couldn't be the best in math, since they didn't get the best grade. All right, and then one other piece of information comes from this is that the student who got the worst grade in English is not the same person as the student who got the worst grade in science. So English F is not the same person as Science F. Liko continues, no one got an A in more than one subject. Okay, so then whoever got A in science couldn't have gotten an A in math and A in English, which you already know. Whoever got an A in English couldn't get the A in math, which we know too, and A in English can't be an A in science, which we already know. And no one got more than one B, so we'll do the same. Whoever got a B in science didn't get a B in math and didn't get a B in English. And whoever got a B in math didn't get a B in English. The student with the best grade in science received a better English grade than the student with the best grade in math. Okay, best grade in science is Science A. They received a better English grade, so they didn't get English F, than the student with the best grade in math. So the best grade in math is Math A, and they did not do the best in English, so we already knew that. And then last we can say, because it says the student with the best grade in science is different than the student with the best grade in math, so Science A and Math A are not the same, which we already had. The person with a C in English did better in math than the person with the C in science. So again, we're going to go to the C in English, and they Since they did better in math, they couldn't get the F. And the person with a C in science is in this column, and they didn't do the best in math, so they can't have an A in math. And the person with a C in science is not the person with the C in math.